Action.
Action.
Every day we participate in rituals. That's actually the only thing we do every day, and that's what teaches us who we are, what we remember, and what we forget. And I wanted to quickly explain that you usually don't understand the ritual you're participating in. You don't get the game, the rules, and the outcomes. But you can experience the feeling of a ritual. You definitely know how you feel. That's the first approach to the ritual. But also, you can notice the fetish. Every ritual starts with the fetish. Traditionally, fetishes were produced like this mysterious drink here in this bottle that can change societies and open spaces, right? You start with the fetish. It can be food, it can be your mask. And then once you have this fetish and you bring it into any universal space, it becomes a hierarchical space. Now there is a difference. If you own the fetish, you are on top of space. And people who come into it and they feel that you have this power, they are at the bottom. So the fetish creates the hierarchy in a space, and it creates a feeling. That's what you experience. And because you experience it many, many times, you know, there is the master of the ritual that repeats the ritual, it forms a memory that feels like eternity. It will be forever until it will be no more. And so there are two temporalities that this drink can open for you. One temporality is eternal. That's the temporality of golden age, or that's the eternity of heaven. But the other temporality in which you really can feel and exist and push back is the temporality of one moment. So if you ask me, why do I think you're so arrogant and violent? Oh, I think that's because you play games that you don't understand. You really don't understand the outcome, you don't understand who is the beneficiary. So you just play because you were hailed, you were called by this game and it felt aesthetically pleasing, and you just keep running, you just keep screaming. But what if one mistake can cost you life?
We do have, you know, we do have.
Бля, вони займають твою лавочку. Кухує. Ти не підходь до мене так близько.
Скажи мені, де стоять. Так, щоб ти могла бачити, як вони там бігають.
Ну, ти...
Може тут? So, this lovely symbol, right, the symbol, a sign, is exactly the fetish I'm talking about. It already creates a hierarchy in space, and if you are something like Harlem or Star, like we are, right, that's the place to experience feeling yourself. Symbols rule your pocket. Look, if you know the name of something specific as a generic name, like an instrument, you will always save a lot of money. So imagine I'm just making some simple tea for 10 cents, and then I pour it into a specifically designed marketing cup, and then I do the opposite. I do it back. The question is it still the same 10-cent tea? Or is it different because it went through aesthetization? Oh, I have something to say about that. So, anytime you feel the rhythm, that's actually the biblical and also something else Marxist idea of the partial autonomous object, the infrastructure of society, of politics that make you move your body. And the feeling you have is this spiritual feeling of connection is actually the feeling of being an object, a puppet with a finger inside of yourself. But don't worry, the only way to become social, to remain social, and to exist as a social human being is actually to let your body feel this partially autonomous object. Oh, can you record my knees? I have a special move. There are some things that feel like drinking water. You have to drink it all the time to be alive. But in reality, this is not just water, but probably some kind of soft drink that already impacts the way you see the world. So my question is really, when you choose the soft drink or the water, do you really have any choice? Or is it just a different flavor of the same toxic river? That's really not just water, but piss. And I want you to think about this as the power of negativity. You really don't know what it is, but would you dare, would you bet, would you invest your health into trying what's in this bottle? That's the question of choice. Some cultures drink water straight from the tap. Others really prefer a filtered water in a bottle. But, frankly, I wanted to disappoint you that walking around the bush, having the face on, drinking water from the bottle, or be direct and not running around the bush has nothing to do with you. It's actually all about what you have not chosen before. Я думав лягти, чи можна і так, якщо ти думаєш, не лягати на траву?
Ти вже один раз лежав.
Ну добре. So, one day I asked my friend, where did you get this terrible idea? And he told me, what do you mean? I invented it. And then I took just 30 minutes to explain him my take on French theory and why he has no individual ideas. Actually, that's the myth, that we all have this kind of individual reasoning, which makes powerful people more powerful because we dissociate. So I told him that, frankly, your all ideas are already premeditated. They're pre-generated like in AI, and you have to choose one of them. And most likely you chose the one that was hyped rather than the one that actually was worth trying. You can check if any of your memories or knowledge seem to be eternal, forever there for you. That's guaranteed. It's mythological. It doesn't exist. Do not rely on the cloud because it's going to rain. We literally believe that the place under the sun is the one that brings utopia, the beautiful future. But frankly, the future is only about aging. Expectation of beautiful future, well, that's what we are trained to like, to think is beautiful, but it never works. And usually people who sold you technocratic beauties of the future or any kind of bureaucratic reforms, they never deliver what they promise, but people keep voting for beautiful words. I was supposed to be parodic and funny, but I'm scorched by the sun, I'm sorry. What is a ritual really? A ritual is a dance. A ritual is a dance where nobody is a character really, but everybody has a role. And the performance itself requires to play with other people. That's how it becomes performative. We copy, we follow the rhythm, we participate in something highly programmed. Every day we have to pass the rites of passages. Passing means you have to cross the border saying, this is who I am and who I am not anymore. One man's trash is another man's cultural object. Memory is the dance that we repeatedly dance to the music we like, or maybe even different music, and then suddenly, because we feel so good in this dance, it starts feeling as it's natural. That's the danger when connoted, highly emotional things become normal, become kind of eternal, while we remember that eternity is the cloud that is about to rain. Walking around another important philosophical spot, I should say that this is an illustration of B type of ritual, right? The ritual that segregates what is value and what is trash. For some people, this is trash, but for some people, this umbrella can be value. The same happens to people when they assess each other, when they moralize, when they explain what is superior in their life, right? They basically put other people in a trash can, and if some people feel like they belong to the trash can, they remain in the trash can. Yeah? Like I'm more like a bird. I'm not out of here. I can fly. I can release my powers and definitely be out of here. And so this is the B type, right? That you yourself can tell, that's beautiful, or that's ugly. I should remember this, or I should forget this. And so you constantly have to do these rituals in order to know what you care about. And if you care about something that is not valuable, you have to forget about it. Sometimes being trashed is the rite of passage. If we really look for a place under the sun that is actually a little bit in the shadow, right, so it's not completely devastating, the question is, what is the symbol that does not teach us to sacrifice ourselves? And sacrifiction of oneself is saying, yeah, I belong to the trash can outside there, right? Not here with the birds. I belong there. I am ready to sacrifice myself for the society, right? I'll put myself there, not here, and everything will be fine. I completely disagree with that, even if you are feeling kind of in place with trash. That cannot be your real knowledge. That's most likely something you learned from other people. I don't know. That's not a funny joke. Let's get back to Borat stuff. Sometimes being trashed is the ritual of passage. It's like I've poured this expensive drink into this toxic river. The real thing is nobody knows what exactly I have in this bottle. This can be just real water, but it's not just water. I mean, let's start there. That it's not just water, and there is really nothing anybody can tell me about this just because I followed the rules, right? It's just a bottle, no brand, no name. Once I have a name on it, it's gonna cost something. But without a name, it's just a piece of trash for some people, Like even if I leave it here, probably I can return tomorrow and it's still gonna be here. What I was talking about, that water is like language, water is like the symbols, water is like your mother tongue. It's something that you carry on you, with you, but it feels like it's just existential, like you need it to exist. Well, I've become too complicated, so let's finish with this one. It's obvious that every communication is in a way an exchange, and if you don't participate in exchange, the other person may feel like you're trashing them, right? So even if someone asks you a ridiculous question, you would have to say, oh, excuse me, I don't have an answer, rather than say, oh, this is just a fucking stupid question. And then I will lead you, right, to the path of the, not this path, no, the other one, the beautiful one. It's also about the focus, right? So I want to lead you to the other path, the path of the C type of ritual. So the C type of ritual is keeping one's face. Tastes like Kool-Aid. Well, frankly, now I have the typical mark of a professor. Just some food or water, or at least something, on my shirt, just to show that I'm not pretentious. I don't care. Речі, добре. Окей, може воно не буде мати cinematic value. Давай хоч щось знімемо, а там побачимо. Так. Ну, якщо ти скажеш, то я піду інде.
Ні, так добре.
Yeah, life is beautiful. Just don't get used to ugly things. Просто пройтися, показати, який тут хаос відбувається, як люди йдуть і є.
Добре. Тоді я буду стояти отут.
Так.
Зараз я прикрию. А ти йди.
Там вони знімають, можеш там?
О, пішли до них, так.
Да.
Все, пішли. А, добре. Іди до автобуса, іди повз автобус.